It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal as the NBA season begins to pick up steam. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Heat in Miami. For Miami, after splitting their first two games of the season, tonight's game gives them a chance to get their record over the 500 mark and maybe get a little momentum on their side. You got new leadership in New York these days. You got Derek Fisher as the head coach. You got a triangle in the Big Apple. Will it work, Shaq?
The triangle is not a simple offense, Ernie. The triangle can take years to learn. At first, it's going to be very frustrating for the guys, but if they stick to it, if they do what the master of Zen tells them to do, they will be fine.
I got a question for you. How long did it take for you to learn the triangle?
Well, with my 5 degrees, Ernie, it took me 22 minutes.
I thought it was more like 24, 25 minutes.
No, 22 minutes.
22 minutes. You're a quick study.
Genius, I am.
It is. Let's go to Kevin Harlan.
A flyover all the bright lights and flavor that Miami has to offer. It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the American Airlines Arena look to cheer on the hometown Heat. Well, the Miami Heat, they won their last contest, that game against the Nuggets in Denver.
Tell you what, the way they shot the ball that game, Kevin, it looked like a shoot-around out there.
It sure did, and all the more impressive because they did it on the road. You're not supposed to be able to get that hot in an opponent's building.
And now the New York Knicks starters. We've got the Beast, the Magician out there with the franchise. Then there's the Miracle Man, and it's Hairston in at the point guard. Here is Hairston. The Beast passes to Pop. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam. And that's how you exploit a gap in the D, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir. No soft finish there. Major power.
Wow.
He knows an opportunity for the highlight reel when he sees one.
New York Knicks were ranked as the NBA's most valuable franchise recently, and with team values skyrocketing, the Knicks came in at around $1.5 billion. That's a B, billion.
Now the Knicks with it. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
Well, Kevin, they constructed a perfect offensive game plan going into that game, and it was quickly apparent how powerless the defense was to stop it.
Powerless is a good way to put it, Steve. We're unlikely to see that many uncontested baskets again anytime soon.
And it's the Heat with the ball. The Knicks making the shot. Mr. Moves passes to Manning. Good ball movement here by the Heat. 6 to shoot. And off target as he starts the game 0 for 1. They set the pick. Passes it to the franchise. Here is Hairston. Over to the left wing. Here's the franchise. And it's Miami with the rebound. And there's the pass to Mr. Moves. Good on the three-point shot. Mr. Moves got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. The Knicks have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, Derek Fisher had a few moments to share with me. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Thanks for the report, Doris. Steve, Clark, your thoughts on their defensive focus here?
Well, it's the right strategy, Kevin, because you have to play to your strengths as a team. You can't get away from who you are.
And that's right, Steve. Their strength is certainly what they do defensively. They can rattle folks.
Here is Hairston. After the Heat pick up 2. He kicks to Powell. Pass to Hairston. From the wing. And he hits the jump shot.
How about this? They're shooting 80% so far. I know it's early, but offensively they look great.
Manning the pass to House. Pass to Manning. Here's the bodyguard, covered by Hairston. Stolen. Passes it to Miracle Man. 14 feet away. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Well, if you remember early in Eric Spoelstra's head coaching career when he was was new and the big three were assembled, there were some people questioning Spoelstra's command, maybe even within the team. Those questions are long gone now. He has become an excellent head coach.
Here's Miracle Man. Turned in an outstanding game against Atlanta. Lock at 6. Hairston, the pass to the franchise. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And Coach Spoelstra, known for his work ethic and attention to detail. He's a grinder.
No question about it, Kevin. Got his start as a video coordinator back when everything ran on VHS, so you know he had to do an awful lot of work. And he's worked his way up slowly, but surely. He's grown as an assistant under some terrific mentors, and now he's really, I think, one of the best head coaches in the game without question.
He's visited college football training facilities, NFL camps. He really tries to broaden his perspective.
He sure does, and you can see evidence of that in how he handles himself.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Tries again, and the layup is good. And that's now 6 points for Dimes. The Knicks leading by 3. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Here is House, looking for his first basket still in this one. And there's the pass to Moss. And that one's good.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
The Knicks have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Pass to Hairston. Here's the franchise. Misses from short range. Here's the bodyguard. He's coming off a 10-point game against Denver. Dimes, and again, Miami with the triple.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
You can tell he's in a lot of pain. They'll take a timeout so that trainer can help him out.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor for the Knicks.
Well, we've got a moment here now, Kevin, to look back to last year's Knicks. Second in fewest turnovers per game. 7th in three-point field goal percentage. And they were in the top 10 in opponents' points per game.
Very well-coached team, Clark. I mean, you look at the numbers, and you talked about the few turnovers. The top 5 in the league, in fact, in fewest mistakes. So this is a well-disciplined, well-coached team. And when they're on their game, they're just one of those teams you hate to play against because they don't give you anything easy.
Well, you know, both of these teams certainly in the conversation when you talk about NBA dynasties with some epic finals performances to show for it. Always a pleasure to watch these two teams face off.
Jones against Bridges. Feeds to Dudley. And it's Miami with another.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
Pass to Bridges. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And stylistically, the Spurs and the Heat at different ends of the spectrum, certainly. Steve, the Spurs averse to the glitter and the glamour.
Yeah, whereas in Miami, you got the pyrotechnics, the fog machines. It's star power all the way. And I think in a way, the NBA kind of needs both approaches. They both have their place.
Here's Bridges. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
New York calls timeout. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat. They get a hand on it, tries to save it. One-on-one fast break. Out of bounds, New York takes possession.
24 seconds of the shot clock.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Now the dish to Jones. And Gibson kicks to Jones. New York moving it around. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
For New York, they have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
Yeah, basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team, about 76% a year ago.
19 seconds left in the first. Speedy the pass to Dudley. They set the pick. And Sanders, here we go. Here's Bridges. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
Both teams on fire right from the opening tip.
Pedal to the throttle, Steve, just like we like it.
And so, both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Miami ahead as they end the first quarter with a 13-5 run. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
And I like what they've done offensively, really attacking the rim, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And guys, they've been the aggressor early. I mean, attacking the hoop and getting into the paint, that can make the game really easy for you.
Knicks trail by 3, and New York looking at who they've got. The franchise is out there with Dimes. Then it's Drew. Then there's Lights Out, and it's Gibson in at the point guard position. Good! Drew's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Knicks.
Boy, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful. Well, the Miami Heat, since the Big Three assembled, have been a polarizing team. Some fans rooted for them, others rooted against them. Either way, they've been an incredible story for the league and become just a huge draw around the NBA.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, Derek Fisher, fresh off his final season as a player, takes over as head coach of the New York Knicks. He'd always envisioned taking a break after his retirement, spending time with his family. But the opportunity with the Knicks was far too good to pass up. Now he takes the reins of one of the league's marquee franchises. We're anxious to watch him work, Kevin.
Certainly a wealth of experience and leadership from his decades as a player. Thanks, Doris. And now with the Big Three era coming to an end, Miami not perhaps one of the more hated teams around the NBA, but Clark, they are still at the forefront of the league scene in the East.
And while they might have lost a bunch of the bandwagon fans, by no means is this team finished with being the title threat. There's just too much talent on this roster, and for the first time in a long time, they might enjoy being viewed as underdogs.
For New York, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. 2 shots. The first free throw is good.
Well, with the shakeups for the Knicks, with the coaching change and even the change in the front office during last season, you'd absolutely expect them to take on a new direction.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Both good from the line that time. They had a little bit of a hiccup to get the overhaul started, but once summer was in full swing, Clark, the Knicks made a lot of changes.
Well, getting Fisher to coach and then implement the triangle was a big one. And they also made some trades to shake up a roster that many felt underachieved last year.
And the Knicks with possession here. Following the score by Miami. Pass to the Beast. Shoots from 14. Nice touch on the bank shot.
Assist from.
He'd have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Here's Manning, and it's Miami with another.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
For New York, they've gone a perfect 4 of 4 since the second quarter began. Perfect from the field. The pass to Hairston. Here's lights out. Some nice passing by New York here. 5 on the clock. From downtown, it's hauled in by the Heat. House has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Sullivan, the pass to Dimes. Mr. Moves, and the go-ahead bucket, no good. The Knicks shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They are putting on a clinic offensively. Here's Drew. Here's the Beast, and the shot is good. The Beast's got 4 points this quarter.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
He'd have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Manning, the pass to Mr. Moves. There's the pick. Pass to Manning. Here's Mr. Moves, covered by Hairston. Here is House. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Good!
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Time called here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, and guys, I think he feels like he can make a few improvements during this timeout. Just kind of make a couple of adjustments, get his club back on track.
You know, coaches are always tweaking and tinkering with things mid-game. Actually, sometimes they overdo it.
For the Knicks, Powell, he's checked in for the franchise. The chosen one comes in for lights out, and it's Miracle Man in for Drew. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Derek Fisher was giving to his team. He made sure that everyone was on the same page and that the offense needed to run through Miracle Man. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense, and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. Here is House, following the score by New York. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Bodyguards checked in for the Monster. The Heat shooting their first free throw tonight.
Yeah, basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team, about 76% a year ago.
Just a lot of disappointment for the Knicks last year and their fans, as many were hoping for them to challenge for the East title, but it just never came together. A fragile line between being a playoff team and not.
Here's the great one. He has 5. Dishes to House. Passes it to Moss. Here's the screen. Off the screen. Here's Mr. Moves. And it's off from 3-point range.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier. Boy, a pick was set at the perfect angle on the floor, and he used it nicely.
Well, that's a play we may see from them a few more times.
Why not? I mean, when it works, you go back to it. Make them stop you.
And so here is New York after the Heat pick up 2. Here's the chosen one. Here's the Beast. Plays it up and banks it in. The Beast's got 6 points.
Boy, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
And the pass to Moss. They set the pick. Here's Mr. Moves. Good on the triple. Mr. Moves got the game tied up here for Miami.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
Here is Hairston. 5 points in the game. Powell tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Pass to Mr. Moves. There's the feed to House. Here's the great one. He has 5. Here's Mr. Moves. And again, Miami with the triple.
And he's starting to pick things up here after a tough first quarter.
Hairston, the pass to Miracle Man. Here's the Beast. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Here's Dimes. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Denver.
Put in a lot of good work on the boards. That helped him, too.
And it's blocked. And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession.
6 seconds. Substitution on the court.
And Miami has possession. 4 on the shot clock. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to fight over the top of that.
It's tipped. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Jones from outside. Oh, the buzzer beater. Amazing.
How about the killer instinct on display there?
Wow.
Fantastic.
He didn't even flinch, just buried it like it was any other shot. Unbelievable.
And the first half comes to a close in a tie game. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. A fantastic game from the Magician in this one.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
As if I was slick Rick, my aim is still an issue. Lose your soul in whichever palm I'm holding. One will leave you frozen, the other nodding doze, and I'm grinding, Jack.
Here is Hairston. The Heat came into last season looking to three-peat, and anything less would have been a disappointment.
Yeah, well, you could see that they were focusing on the playoffs last year. The Bobcats didn't really stand a chance against them in round one. It was easy pickings for the Heat.
They've got Dimes. The mayor is out there with Mr. Moves. Then there's the great one, and it's Moss in at the 2. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy. Well, to get back to the Heat last year, a lot of teams in the conference didn't really look to be in the same ballpark as Miami in terms of playoff hunger.
Here is House. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's the Beast. Here's Miracle Man. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And it's a 4-point New York lead.
You know, the Heat did breeze through to the finals, but the three-peat just was not in the cards after they fell to the Spurs. Terrific run nonetheless. 4 consecutive NBA Finals, 2 championships, and quite honestly, who knows how things could have gone if the air conditioning didn't fail or any other twist in that epic series. That air conditioning went down in Game 1, folks, if you didn't recall that, but it wasn't anything about air conditioning. The Spurs were super hot and well-oiled and highly motivated. They wanted that trophy.
Here's the Beast. He's got 6. Powell, the pass to the franchise. Shot clock at 6. Some nice passing by New York here. From the top of the key. No good from Hairston.
Well, as far as jump shots go, that's as high percentage as it gets.
I'm not sure how that didn't go down.
Passes it to Miracle Man. Over to the wing. The franchise passes to Powell. The second effort. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's the Heat missing.
And they've missed the first 3 shots of the third quarter.
The franchise banked in off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 6.
That was the 3rd straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
That's good from 17 feet away. 15 points for Dimes.
And they get one to go now after missing their first 3 shots. Maybe this will kick them into gear.
New York calls timeout. Lights out, checked in for New York. There's a break in the action, so a rundown now. The most reliable power forwards and centers over the past month when it comes to shooting the basketball. And here you look at Dimes. You know what you're going to get from him day in and day out.
You know, he's gotten to the top of that list because he has a terrific array of low post moves that allows him to free himself up to get to the basket for very high percentage shots.
And not only that, Steve, we always talk about athleticism and length and speed, but strength is a factor in this game too, and it allows you to finish around the goal through other people. So that's something he does well.
I think we could be seeing a repeat of last night, fellas. He's just battling out there.
To the paint, here's the franchise, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Manning the pass to Dimes. Here's the bodyguard. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by New York. Miracle Man's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's lights out, and there's another one for the Knicks.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
Well, they continue to find the open man and play unselfishly. This is true team basketball we're seeing.
Here is House. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. They set the pick. The pass to Mr. Moves. Rebounded by Hairston.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
And the basket good. Hairston's got 4 points in the quarter.
And we're seeing the shots just dropping from everywhere right now.
Yeah, since halftime, Steve, they've been operating very efficiently.
Here is House. Dimes the pass to House. Here's Manning. Drills it from outside. The great one's got 8 points.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Knocked away. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. 10 points for him.
His shooting has been so good today, he may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
Well, 2 seasons ago, the Heat were rolling. They won a franchise record 66 games. 27 of those came consecutive. Last season, they managed the regular season. They knew they had to pace themselves in an effort to try to win a 3rd straight championship.
Here's the bodyguard. Pass to Manning. Soft touch off the glass. Now just a 1-point Knicks lead. Here is Hairston. We've got 1:18 left in the third quarter. And last season, I'd say, guys, the Heat more or less just conceded that #1 seed to the Pacers.
Yeah, almost like a marathon runner. You know, they just didn't want to burn out early, so they just kind of found their pace throughout the season. And they weren't worried too much about the home seed. They were concerned more with their own health. And I thought Eric Spoelstra handled all of those dynamics perfectly.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Gotta like what the Magician has done in this game.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his points.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. 1:05 left in the third quarter. Speedy the pass to Bridges. Here's Howell. Good on the 13-footer.
I'll tell you what, the first half may have been a little slow, but both clubs really picking up the intensity here in the second.
I'll say that's for sure. I mean, things have really ramped up here.
Here's Kelly. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. He got right to the cup using that screen. And the Knicks lead by 4.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
Here's Howell. And another basket for Miami.
Assistant, Cameron.
26 seconds left to play in the third. Passes to Manning. Here's Kelly. The pass to Manning. 6 to shoot. Gibson with it. Now defended by Sanders. Manning the pass to Gibson. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Boy, in a close game especially, those plays really hurt.
Here's Booth. No good. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter. It's the Knicks up 2. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. And Miami has possession, trailing by 2. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court for the Knicks, we've got the Beast. He's out there with Dimes. Featuring out there with Jones. And it's Gibson in at the 1 spot.
I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Yep, ball movement, player movement. They're generating a lot of easy opportunities for themselves down there.
Dimes, almost, but it rolls out.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
Dudley, no luck.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Here's Manning. Makes it off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 2.
This is what his team needs right now. Solid scoring opportunities. And he's manufacturing it whenever they need it most.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
There's the 3. Tries again. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
At the line for the Knicks, the Beast. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
You know, last year the Knicks played at a very slow tempo, 29th actually in the NBA in pace. And at times when things slowed down in the half court, that's when they really struggled to score.
Mr. Moves checked in for Miami. Thomas comes in for Easy Breezy. Then for the Knicks, the franchise is checked in for Dimes. The Magician comes in for B-Train, and it's Miracle Man in for Jones. Well, with pace, as you were saying, Clark, the Knicks would try and slow it down themselves, as you said, but that really didn't help them within the conference.
And, you know, the Knicks went 500 against the rest of the East, but really with the talent they had, you would have expected them to do better.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Here's the Beast. Here's Powell. Good D by Sanders. Here's Mr. Moves, defended by Gibson. That drops. New York's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Pass to Miracle Man. Back to Gibson. 6 on the shot clock. Down low. Lays it up and banks it in. The franchise has got it all tied up now for New York.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
Well, and at this stage of such a tight game, I think this is when tired legs start to show. And the defense can become vulnerable in the low block.
Here's Powell, and he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Sanders. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Lets it go from 11, and it's Sanders missing again.
Boy, they almost tied it up with that shot.
Boy, they're this close here in the fourth quarter, scrapping back into it.
Here's the Beast, and it's off from three-point range. Miami's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Here's Speedy. Pass to Mr. Moves. Miami no good on that time either.
No luck for him this half after being outstanding from outside the arc in the first half.
Miracle Man, the pass to the Beast. He dishes it to Gibson. The pass to the Beast. Now here's Gibson. Defense right on him. The second effort rejected by Sanders. Here's Speedy. There's the bucket. Good.
Boy, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
And a new group in for the Heat. Dimes, he's checked in for Howell. The mayor comes in for Sanders. Bodyguards checked in for Thomas. And the great one subbed in for Speedy. Hairston, he's checked in for New York. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Derek Fisher was just going over the plan with his team. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Here is Hairston. Out to the wing. Here's the franchise. The shot misses.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
Yeah, both teams have really put in a terrific effort down low.
Out of bounds. Remains Miami ball. 15 seconds on the shot. 15.
On defense, New York. Here's Moss. Here's Dimes. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Complete domination. What a game for Dimes. He's got 17 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Heat.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
Now, it seems to me that they're taking a lot of pride in their rebounding tonight, especially at the offensive end, guys.
And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
And that makes it a two-possession game now. Those could turn out to be vital free throws.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're losing by 4. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter of this one.
That's a big basket there, and you can expect him to be very involved and aggressive the rest of the way.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're ahead by 2. 1:46 left to play here in the fourth. .146 left in the fourth quarter. House the pass to Dimes. And blocked. Here is Hairston. Pass to the Beast. From 11 feet away. No good from Hairston. The Heat with the lead. Manning the pass to Moss. He feeds it to House. Knicks with the rebound.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Out to the wing. Passes to the Beast. Here's Hairston. It's good from beyond the arc.
Huge points.
That's beyond huge, Steve. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
For Miami, they've gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Here's Mr. Moves. Here's the bodyguard, and there's the pass to Dimes. Connects!
His stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
Here's Hairston. Right between the eyes!
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Pass to Dimes. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you got to freeze the clock. I mean, that's the enemy in this situation.
A few misses at the line, and they're in good shape.
And they go to the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Timeout called, the Heat. They're trailing by 3. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, they've got two options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
For Miami, they've gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
20 seconds.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
That's his second personal. 4th team foul. Shooting for the win. Hairston. Taking 2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up making the second, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's the great one. Pass to Mr. Moves. From past the arc. Powell pulls it in. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here. He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
That may be the knockout blow. Guys, those free throws would seem to have put this one away.
Here's Manning. Yep, it's good. So a close game sees New York take this one. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, the captain.